Hello and welcome to We Buy Any Motor Caravan. Today I've got the best motorhome for over £100,000 in an A-class. Mobilvetta versus Dethleffs. Let's go. So traditionally the Dethleffs and Mobilvetta have probably been some of the nicest looking motorhomes out there, especially on the outside. The Dethleffs has always been a lot more sporty than most models. I think it's toned a little bit down at the moment. I think with it having the GT black pack, I think it does look a lot better, but I wouldn't want one that's not got all these decals down the side. It just looked very bland, very white. And for something that's well in excess of £100,000, you'd expect a little bit of style to it. Might be my personal opinion, I don't know. So this starts from £130,000. This is the Island Bed version. The K Yacht is also an Island Bed version, which is what we've come up with, which is not convenient. And what do we think? So the black pack, the GT pack, is just over £6,000 on its own. It does come with a lot of little bits and bobs that you'd want on it. If you wanted to spec this one up, by the way, you could get it all the way to £191,000. That's a lot of money for this. So the big thing for me to start off with the Dethleffs, which is better than the K Yacht, which is about £113,000 with a 9-speed auto, is the garage. This is something I haven't seen before so far, but it's that black carpeted wall on the back and also on the door itself. I think it's just going to be a little bit better where it's not going to get so grubby and so on. Again, inside it's finished really nicely. You've got little LED lights, you've got a nice wall, cage for all the electrics, you've got the seats for the pop-up seats for when you are using the travel seats. And again, the customers put some carpet down on this, but you've got a nice hardware-in floor, all the cushions, lots of space, double access, which they both have. But I think that garage is just finished better. I love this lining inside. What do you think to that? So continuing around, we do have this lovely rear end. Yeah, it is what it is. I think you might like the other one better. I don't know. It might just be me. And again, you do have alloy wheels. I think they are £1,500 extra. Gas low. Got lots of little cupboards which get you into all sorts of things, water and so on. And then we've got a passenger door on the front end. So what do you think of the Dethleffs so far? Let's go and check out the Mobilvetta. So the K Yacht, as I said, this does start from £113,000 for a 2023 model. It comes quite well spec'd. It comes with things like the alloy wheels, LED daytime running lights, which they both have, and everything like that. But it's just got a few more decals on it, which make it look a little bit better for me. It just makes it look a bit more stylish. So it's 30 centimetres shorter than the Esprit, which is 7.8 metres. And let's just have a walk down. So first of all, you'll notice that the habitation door is on the UK side. The Dethleffs wasn't. It was on the European side, which is a bit of a stumbling block. Both have double floors, so you've got the storage below. Now, this is what I was talking about with the Esprit. I thought the garage was really nicely fitted out. Looked like a premium motorhome in there, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the garage in this. It's just very basic, very simple. But you do still have the Aldi heating system at the rear. So, like I said, there's lots of colour. Looks really nice and smart. This one has the additional awning, which looks great in that black colour. I feel like for a bit of contrast, you could have done with that a little bit on the Esprit. But again, personal preference. And then on the rear panel, you have got lots of nice little features. Strip light for the brake light or the lights generally. Again, a couple more down here. This one has got a couple of extras like the bike rack and the tow bar. And then as we go around this side, we have got a second garage door, just like the Esprit, lockers and a driver's door, which is a great bonus. And then to finish off with them both in a very extravagant Italian style, we've got a little bit more built out in the front. This is the new end for 2022-23. What do we think to that compared to what the Dethleffs Esprit is showing? Again, like the nice little red accents being the GT pack. Very German, very clean, crisp. Let's go and have a look inside of them both. So, starting off inside, we're going to start with the island beds. So this is the one in Dethleff Esprit, as you can see, nice and new, all in packaging and everything like that. Really nice lights up at the top. I can't tell, the big difference for me in this, and when you look in the finer detail, is the cabinetry. The overhead lockers are just really, really nicely done. Mobilvetta's nice, this is just different level. You can see where that extra money is that's been put into it. Next up that we've got on this side, we do have these side wardrobes, his and hers, or whichever you want to do it. Again, really nicely put together. I like the surround that goes around the roof light. You've got some really nice LED lighting. I think what the Mobilvetta does better though is around the island bed itself, where there's just a bit more fanciness about it. Again, a bit more extravagant, a bit more Italian. With both of them, you do have storage underneath. Obviously, you've got the garage at the back. And by the way, how impressive is it, the size of those garages for an island bed? Whereas in comparison, you can just see how nicely this is dressed. I know it's only a little bit of fabric that's been put on and a bit of leather, but it just makes it look a little bit more stylish and put together. Same with the headboard at the back. Again, there's a little bit more to it. The lighting all the way around is beautiful. I actually prefer those lights in the Dethleffs were really nice, but I really like these black reading lights. Really easy to move around, and on a cold day they're actually nice and warm to hold. Yeah. Side wardrobes, again, nice and straight cabinets. Makes it cheaper, makes it easier, which is where the price difference is between the two. Something I will add to this as well, the better part of the Mobilvetta for me, that this is a carpenter's ceiling. It's not really padded so much, but it's carpeted. It just gives that a little bit more of a premium feel. I think it's something that the Esprit could have done with. Maybe it's something they'd save for the more premium lines. So again, in Dethleffs, it's down to the finer details. All this material that's used all the way around the doors, it's just a better quality of build. So I'm just going to swap sides with you here. This door does separate the front from the back, so when you're getting changed, you've got a little bit more privacy and space. We've got the toilet. You can have a ceramic toilet option if you want to do the upgrades. Sink, mirrored storage above, and then on the opposite side, don't know if I'm a massive fan of these doors, but I guess when that comes over it'll make it a bit more secure. Magnetic to stick together, and apart from a little bit of LED light in the corner, pretty much as you'd expect. Nice feature to have the LD radiator in and the rack at the top so you can dry off your towels. So in comparison to the K Yacht, I think this is a much prettier shower area. I love this wood effect at the back door. I think it looks beautiful. I think it's a really nice feature, sort of like a Nordic sort of feature that they've brought in. However, compared to the Dethleffs, which is where you get the extra money, you have got an LD radiator in the Dethleffs as well as a rail at the top, which means you can dry your bits out. And because the wheel arch is there as well, this might be because it's a little bit shorter, it means that you've got a little bit of a hump there. So you kind of standing like this in the shower, like a model. Now on the other side we do have the toilet area. Toilet area in the Mobilvetta, again, I mean there's not really much you can say. I probably prefer the sink personally. I think it's a bit more stylish. I love the curly whirly radiator. But a bathroom's a bathroom. You got nice lighting again. So then we have the kitchen and front lounge. Now straight away from going from the K Yacht straight into this, there's so much more space. It feels a lot wider. Whether it's the wood and carpets and everything, it's a lot more airy and light. Completely different contrast, which we'll see on the K Yacht shortly. So let's go through a few features. I'm going to go back to these again because I think they're really nicely finished. But the overhead lockers, just really nice material used. It just feels a lot more quality. In the kitchen area itself, we do have lots of wardrobes. We do have locking drawers, so when you're travelling, you can lock them into place and they won't just come falling out. Again, that's what you get from a more premium motorhome. there's a few more bits which I'll show you about in a few moments time. Nice big fridge, grill at the top. The Mobilvetta admittedly does come with the oven, I think as standard, which is more of a UK thing than a European thing. Again, really nice kitchen area, 3 hob burner. They look real quality. The only thing I'd like on this, if you can have the ones that click down so they don't rattle. Having said that, when driving this compared to the K Yacht, this, you could tell the quality difference because it just never rattled like some motorhomes do. Bench seats at the front, same as the K Yacht. Again, you've got the travel seats which we saw in the garage previously. Not the longest of seats, but neither is the K Yacht. Big enough really. I like how they do the front bench seats now because it just gives that lots of leg room. You can see the LED lighting below. I mean, I'm 5'10", 5'11", I've got plenty of room. I'm not even all the way back. So there's more room than you would ever need. Nice little features like the little lights, switches, and then on the other side just above you have got 240, 230 volt socket above. Table folds out nice and big. There is a thing that comes across there just to keep it open. And then above we have the drop down bed, which is a big feature between the two. Now before we go on to the K Yacht, I want to show you as we go out, we do have space with TV between me and Lewis. I think, what do you think, Lewis? You wasn't a massive fan of this?
Not at first, but it has grown on me.
Yeah. So again, it looks good in some people's eyes, but you know, it's just for effect, effectively. You've got storage bins below, TV. Now this is something that Dethleffs do really nicely. They have these nice dials up above, bit of a better quality than the Mobilvetta. Aldi heating, which they both have, and then we do have the remote for the drop down bed here. Let's go back to the K Yacht. Again, we're going to start with the front lounge. Bench seats about the same sort of size as the other one. Great for the option of travel. Probably not as wide. This is the Esprit. You know, you can see that I'm touching the other side, whereas I had no chance in the Esprit. I'm sort of working back forward here. So, kitchen. Something I like that Mobilvetta do is they have an induction hob as an option. Whether you like that, I don't know, it depends what pots you've got, because obviously you've got to get ones accordingly, and then you've got a couple of burners as well. Sink, I mean, it's a sink, sink's a sink. Overhead lockers, nicely finished, not quite as premium as the Dethleffs. Don't know if I mentioned that a few times already, but you know, they do a good job. Really nice LED strip lights above. Again, I like how this is carpeted on the ceiling. Fridge on the opposite side, same sort of size. You're not losing a lot. And then you've got the control panel with the Aldi heating just above. Control panel is probably the only thing that lets it down a little bit. Bit more storage above, and then we've got another single overhead locker here. So you've got a little bit more storage in this Esprit, but it is about 30 centimeters longer. You might be a little bit more restricted on the Esprit compared to this. Some campsites, not websites, have a little bit of a length issue depending on what pitch you've got. For me personally, this is where I was blown away when I first saw these at the show. I love the new upholstery that they've put and the finishing touches on the drop-down bed. It just sets it apart. Again, very Italian, very stylish. I think it looks brilliant. I love the LED lights that drop down here, especially with the blue LED lighting that's on the outside. Again, Bentley style stitching on the middle of the drop-down bed. Same with the seats as we head down. I mean, that can be seen throughout from the island bed at the back all the way to the top. It does give you that nice option of cloth and upholstery as well. It just looks a lot more quality, and to be fair, they have gone up a lot in price, as have all motorhomes, by the way. So what do you think? Is this your sort of style? So in some of the previous Mobilvettas, you did get an electric drop-down bed, I believe. I think it was in the 80, which had the rear lounge. But this in the front, and especially the old ones as well, you do have a pull-down drop-down bed. So it is manual, a little bit heavy, but it goes into place really nicely. Again, nice and spacious. Put a ladder on it and you're good to go. Pulls up, again because it's on gas struts, doesn't take your breath away by any means. Yeah, put your seatbelt on and you're good to go. And just to finish off in this lounge area, you've got the nice LED lighting in the mirror. Again, a great detail. Same sort of stitching throughout. Habitation door. I do think that the Esprit door is a little bit wider, so you've got a little bit more space to get out. But all spot on. All nicely finished. Esprit so far is just about winning it, but only just. I really love the styling of this. I think they've done a great job, Mobilvetta. In the Esprit, it's a little bit more plain and simple or less extravagant, whichever one you think sounds better. We do have a little bit of leather. You've got two seatbelt safety things up there because it is a heavier bed, and that's because of two very special buttons. Do we want to know what they are in a more premium motorhome? That's up and down. Look at this! So me with my bad back and my stutter, it means I have to press the button and it comes down nice and easy. And something I do like about both of these motorhomes, I'm going to say, is the thing that you have to turn to get the seats to go down is dead simple. Sometimes you've got the ratchet thing which takes and you're forever in a day trying to get the seats, but that is spot on. Up and down straight away takes a couple of seconds. What do we think about that? So finishing off in the cab, we have got the Dethleffs Esprit Cab. So I'm not going to look too much into it, but this is the old Fiat Ducato cab. You can see a few things that stand out. The steering wheel looks different. The big giveaway for me, if you're really looking into it and you're not sure, is there's a button on the back of the 9-speed auto gearbox. The temperature bits and the cockpit itself are all different. The cockpit, you can now get in a full LCD screen, which looks really good. So apart from that, you've got this nice trim on the dashboard, which is like a plasticky graphite looking sort of trim. You have got a passenger door, so you're not going to get too much storage on there because that's just what it is. And on my right hand side, you do have this lovely wood trim which goes throughout the rest of the motorhome. Nice big storage bin on that side. Now, with this being a premium motorhome, you're going to get some nice extras, and this is one of the big ones, which, if I press the right button, there we have it. It's an electric roller blind at the front, and that is very much a top-end motorhome feature. And now in the K Yacht cab, again, like I said in the last one, I'm not going to compare the Fiats too much because this is the new shape. It's just a crossover. So as you can see, this is a different steering wheel altogether. You've got a lot more buttons on the controls itself. Digital display on the air conditioning altogether, or the climate control, and then you've got a bigger LCD screen in the middle. And if you can just about see it, there's a big button on the back of the 9-speed. So it's a different cab altogether, but generally we're talking about the motorhome. So again, on the passenger side, you've got the storage compared to the driver side. On the two, you've not got features such as the roller blind because there's a big price difference in there at the end of the day, and there's also a weight difference when you're building up some of these features. But overall, nicely spec'd. The screen's not as big in this one compared to the Dethleffs, but a beautiful van altogether. So, one at 113,000, one starting from 130. Which one do you prefer? I think it's pretty close, but I'm just leaning towards the Dethleffs personally. I think that's a slightly better motorhome. I was really impressed by the Mobilvetta and the new decor at the show, but I think the Dethleffs just shows that little bit more quality. Let us know what you think.